What, let me make sure. The first sentence of the last paragraph?
Correct.
When they met?
Yes.
Okay. Any objection to that clarification?
None, Your Honor.
All right, that's fine. I'll direct that.
No other factual exceptions to the report, Your Honor.
All right. As to the matter of sentence, let the record first reflect. There are no guidelines necessary nor called for by the Michigan statutes with respect to these two convictions, since the penalty is fixed by law. As to the matter of sentence, Ms. Norris, let the record reflect that I communicated or had my staff communicate with perhaps the prosecutor's office, and certainly, if not, then with the court, to direct that since the sentencings in this case are mandatory, that there was not substantial need for a lengthy or a number of victims' impact statement. I would, however, permit one family member of the deceased to make an impact statement, should that be desired. Do you have such a statement?
We do, Your Honor. Marilyn Shirey is here, and she would like to make a presentation to the court, if that's fine.
That's fine. Let's do it now. Yes.
I understand that procedure and have no objection to that procedure, Your Honor, but I do take exception to the number of reports that were submitted, and they were forwarded on to me, some of which were from non-family members who I submit are not victims under the Victims' Rights Act, and I'm not sure that all the family members are either. So I would object on that grounds to the number of reports that were submitted to the court.
All right. And that perhaps is an objection worthy of further inquiry. I frankly have not examined the statements individually to the extent of knowing whether the authors have a specific family relationship with Mrs. Foley, but it would be my intention to limit the impact statements that are attached to the pre-sentence report to those who legitimately fall within the definition of victim under 780-7661, and we can do that at some subsequent time. All right. Go ahead, Ms. Norris.
Take care.
All right. For the record, you're Marilyn Shirey, correct?
I am.
You're the mother of the deceased?
I am.
Very well. Go ahead.
There comes a time when words cannot begin to explain what the heart feels, and this is one of those times. You, Tom, have by your action on February 7th destroyed and will never regain the love of your wife, Dar, from your son, Heath, from our family, and from the community that was affected that day. Was it worth it? We can now believe you were not only not in love with Dar, but were never in love with anyone, including yours and Dar's son. We also now know you were and are in love with only yourself and your selfish wants. You did, however, though I'm sure did not intend to, show us how much she loved you and your son by trying to protect you from yourself and your family and her friends she shared with you. Dar gave you the lifestyle you wanted. Her continued effort to include you in every aspect of her life was to be admired and not made fun of by calling it controlling. The controlling aspect came from the lack of love and huge and long-lasting lack of trust you gave to her. You did, however, give us an answer to the question why. Now when your son says, "Grandma, I think my dad killed my mom, and he did it when he sent us outdoors, but I don't know why," I'll be able to truthfully answer him because he wanted everything your mother stood for. He just didn't want her in the picture. You couldn't just walk out, which would have been the right thing to do, because she would have still been the loving mother, an awesome and outstanding teacher, and a pillar in the community. You, Tom, on the other hand, would have had to own up to your own shortcomings. She would still have had the support and love of her family and the community, and you would have lost that. You had to shut her up so that the life you were leading wouldn't be found out. You wanted to be the grieving widow and the accepted person, but in her world. You were devious, misleading, zealously hiding your dark side, and deluded enough to think you could get away with murdering her. While you would have us believe she was the problem, you told and are still telling your family and people that will listen to your story that she needed help. It was you, Tom, that desperately needed the psychiatric help. How dare you? Then, if that wasn't enough, you took her father's gun from her brother's home to kill his sister, the very sister that donated a kidney to his daughter so she would have a second chance at life, then tried to implicate him in her murder. You have unsuccessfully attacked her sister Marla and her husband Russ, whom have bestowed love and compassion to your son, who has been hurt beyond what words can describe. How cold and without feeling are you? Your effort to destroy this family by pointing fingers at us added insult to the injury you already caused. But we're an awesome family, Tom, and nothing, not you, your defense team, nor anyone else will ever destroy the love and the bond we feel for each other. We know the way Dara was raised, the environment we had in our home, and the love she had known for what was the last few years of her life was what she was brought up to believe in. She wanted so badly to portray the perfect life, the perfect husband, the perfect son, along with the perfect lifestyle, that her pride would not allow those closest to her to know what her life was really like. She protected you, Tom. We now know, through all the testimony we have heard and the times Heath has broken down with a heart-rending, gut-wrenching, broken heart, that pride cost her her life. God and the world, including this family, would have forgiven you your affairs, your ending your marriage, your desire to move on, but do not ever ask for forgiveness for this hideous murder and the aftermath you and you alone created. There is no forgiveness. And I'd like you to remember the words Darlene used when she spoke to your girlfriend. We don't have to tell you to go to hell. The decision you made will put you there. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Norris, do you have any other statement with respect to sentence?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
I noticed one of the letters received, which may in fact ultimately not be permitted under the Victims' Impact Statute, was a letter from counsel representing the state in the wrongful death action, seeking a declaration of restitution in certain elements. Are you, Ms. Norris, on behalf of the people, making a specific claim for restitution in this case?
Your Honor, we just received that the other day as well. Yes, we are.
All right. Mr. Schaefer?
I guess there is a wrongful death action that was filed and served on my client the Saturday before the last week of trial. Apparently there's a money motive issue in this particular matter, and I guess that will seek its own level through a wrongful death action. I don't think that it's necessary to go through a restitution hearing in this particular matter.
Well, Ms. Norris has not made a claim, therefore, so that matter will not be pursued.
Thank you.
Anything else with respect to the matter of sentence, Mr. Schaefer?
Your Honor, this is a mandatory sentencing, so I think it's futile to deal with that. I think my client has the right of elocution, and he wishes to address the court in that regard.
Very well. He certainly does. Mr. Foley, you've got the right to state anything you wish about the case or anything concerning the sentence. Go ahead.
The case and the sentence?
Yes.
Okay. April 29th, 1991, as the day that my life began with Dee Dee Foley. From that point on, I've loved her with all my heart. I've never tried to hurt her. I've always supported her. I've always comforted her.